Okay, after you have successfully logged on, the shell displays the prompt on the screen, which is the shell command interpreter's way of asking basically, what do you want to do next? In this case, you can see that I'm logged on as instructor at redditlinux.com. The tilde is indicative that I'm in the home directory, and the $ shows that my privileges are as a normal user. Now, if I type present working directory, which is pwd, it's going to tell me that I'm in the home instructor directory again. That's what the tilde signifies just after, or just right here. So you can enter the commands like, just type them here, like who am I, and it will say instructor. Now they are case sensitive. If I try it, who am I, it says it's not found. All the commands are case sensitive, and you'll get an error message if you don't type them in correctly. Now, all Unix and Linux systems keep track of the current date and time, which are then available to both the users and programs as needed. The way you get to this is you simply type date and press enter. The output of the date program is displayed on the screen, and it is the current date and time at the time that it was executed. To see the host name of the system you're on, you simply type host name, and it will give that to you. To clear the screen, you simply type clear, and it will clear everything that was on the screen. All the data is cleared, and the prompt is displayed at the top of the screen or window. You can make corrections when entering a command in the command line. Because, you know, typing, our fingers don't often go where we want. We kind of fat finger the keys. But the way you do this is, like, let's say I'm typing the word date, and I type D-T-A-E instead of date. Well, what I can do is I can use backspace to move the cursor back. On some systems, backspace doesn't move the cursor, but basically enters characters on the screen. And if that's the case, then what you would do is you would try to hit delete and then Control-H. Which you use. It's not going to work on this system correctly, but you can also determine who else is logged into the system. So at this time at 23:51, which is essentially 7:50 p.m. or 7:51, I can type who, and it shows that I'm currently the only one logged into the system. The who utility basically just looks at the system, sees who's logged in, and because this is a multi-user system, you can get an idea of who else is online. To get an idea of what these fields are for, the first field here is the basically the login name of the user that's logged on. This is the access point. How are they logged on? And if they were logged on locally, you'd see like a TTY access port. This is the date and time that they logged on, and this is the address, the remote system they're logged on to. Now you can see 75.90.17.157 is the actual address that I'd be logged in from. Okay, so those are some basic commands. We use the shell to execute programs, and basically the procedure that we just did entering the who command is the same way we do most of our commands, whether it be date, cal, or ls. And we can also pass information to the utility. So if I type, let's say cal, which is a calendar, and this shows the current date, and that's fine, but I might also want to see cal for a specific year. So let's say 2011. See, now that gives me a pretty calendar for the entire year. And the calendar has a lot of other functions that we can deal with it. We can go to man cal. It's going to show me all of the switches and all of the arguments, or not arguments, but all the switches that can go along with a calendar, and then how arguments would go along with it. So for example, if I wanted to say to display a single month output, which is the default, I could do -1. But if I wanted to show 3 months at a time, then I could say -3. So let's say what I wanted to do was I don't know, let's say I'm going to look at December of 2010, and I want to show 1 month on either side, which would be the previous, current, and next month output. What I'm going to say is cal -3, and then the month and the year. So I'm going to go back to this, and I'm going to say cal -3, which is my switch, and then the month and the year, so 12/2010. Notice what I got for an output was December 2010, and then on each side of it I got November 2010, and on the right I got January 2011. And we can pass a lot of arguments to cal. I can do just the year if I want to. And the cal utility, like a lot of others, it can take more than one argument. So like I was showing just a second ago where I did the -3, if I just want a specific month, I can say cal 9/17/52. It gives me just that one. Now notice what I got here was an abbreviated calendar, and that's because this was the actual year that the Gregorian calendar threw out 10 days to throw the calendars back in line. So this is a weird month anyway. Anyway, that was the first video for touring the essential programs. You'll notice that there's a second video that goes along with this. We're going to start looking at processes as well as components of the shell command. And thank you.